What's going on, everybody? Why is it every time that we talk about DC lately, it's just more and more bad news? It just goes from worse to even more critical. DC is fully in crisis. And as a DC fan, I'm fully embarrassed now. This is just no more like I said in one of my previous videos, I was starting to feel like it. Now I'm just pure fed up with this. Like, it's just ridiculous at the level that we are with DC and what Warner Brothers has been doing with the brand, and at this point there's no forgiveness, honestly. Just, it's no longer restore the Snyderverse, and it's no longer about release the air cut, which we're still fighting for it. But now WB is fully at war with the fans. Why? Because look, man, at this point, like, they just don't even know what they're doing anymore. They're just putting anything, and if it works, it works. They just don't care anymore, and us as the consumer and as the fans, we shouldn't care, either, because why should we keep on supporting a brand that doesn't care and listen to its fans? Without us, there would be no DC and there would be no WB. And it shows at this point that everything that James Gunn is doing, and look, right now, talks to James Gunn's fans, I don't have time for you. But facts are facts, all right? You guys always have an excuse, and you always have something to say to try to, like, deny the facts when the facts are clearly in front of you, all right? James Gunn is overseeing and he's running WB Studios. That says everything. Under his ruling, which is Black Adam, Shazam 2, The Flush, and Dung Beetle, they've all flopped. And they keep getting worse and worse. Open your eyes and realize, but that's right, you won't do it because you're just like your leader. Your ego is just too high, and you guys are just so self-centered, and your toxic levels won't allow you to open and realize that mentality that you have clogged up. And if you take this personal, that's on you. I'm just saying facts. That's it. Once Zack Snyder left, everything within the DC with the movie part has been falling apart, and each time it proves that Zack Snyder is the blueprint, and a lot of y'all don't want to admit it because y'all just like WB, y'all hard-headed, y'all stubborn, and you don't want to accept the reality. But when it comes to the reality, everything that DC is right now, it's in the shitter. It's really, really deep in there, and it's so clogged up that honestly WB needs to wake up and just say, yo, we need to get rid of James Gunn. He's good at Marvel. Don't get me wrong. He's really good over there at Marvel. That's where he should have stayed. But here at DC, it's like this dude has been really sent to destroy and dismantle everything in it. And if you don't see that, I don't know what to tell you, honestly, because that's where it's at right now. This dude's just destroying everything within DC. And I think that's what his goal is, to destroy it. When you have David S. Goyer coming out and saying how WB was so desperate to be like Marvel and copy the Marvel formula of the MCU. We've been saying that since the beginning. That's why DC is where it's at right now. And it sucks. It really does. Because they have top brand characters that everybody's familiar with. Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. 3 iconic characters, bigger than Marvel. And they don't know how to use them. That's sad. That says a lot, As a fan, it's very disappointing. It's very frustrating, and it's like, look, we just have to keep on boycotting WB, honestly. They have to learn one way or the other, and the other is going to be that they're going to have to learn the financial way, that with the consumer and the fan, if you do not give them what they want, they will not support you. And that's exactly where we're at right now. Words can't describe it. That DC is in shambles, and at this point, there's their only option is going to be at the end. WB is going to have to sell it. And like I said, the only two that could afford it besides Disney is Universal or Netflix. Those are the only two that would be able to buy or license the IPs because they can afford them. And I get it. Maybe WB doesn't want to sell them, but that doesn't stop that they can always lease them also, because they can lease the IPs for a certain amount of time and they can still make profit. Not lose the characters, But if the way and the route we're heading in right now, WB is becoming like what Disney was back in the days, that they sold X-Men to Fox and they sold Spider-Man to Sony. That's why Sony owns right now Spider-Man with all the rights. And as long as they keep on producing, even if it's good or bad, but they're still constantly keeping up the contract, then Sony will continue to milk Spider-Man. And Disney, that's why they did that partnership with Sony, because they want some of the profit. And it's sad, but at the same time, business is business. But again, during the 90s, that's what happened to Disney and Marvel. And the same thing is happening now to WB. If they keep it up, they're going to have to sell all their characters. And the only ones that I see that have potential, and especially the money to afford them, are Universal and Netflix. Other than that, besides Disney, obviously, but those are the only ones that I can see. What are your thoughts? Make sure to hit the subscribe. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, until next time.